So hey everyone, this is Tom from Tom Burlinson Yoga. Today we're going to be looking at our forward folds, specifically how to get as deep as possible into it and really engage rather than just kind of relax into it. Idea is we're trying to open up through the back of the hamstrings, maybe the lower back if a little bit tight in there. I'll show you the position from a couple of angles, and then I'm going to bring Matt in, my unwilling volunteer, to see if I can get him to stretch a little bit further. So all you need to do from the front, feet parallel, navel in, lifted, shoulders down, hands to hips, lift the chest, fold forwards, peace fingers behind the big toes. Again, lengthen the body, and then gently draw yourself into the fold. It's a lot better, I think, to see from the side, so I'm going to go talk through a little bit more detail here. So again, feet are parallel. Don't have the feet turned out here. What happens is the femurs turn out, and then we get this change in how the hip muscles work, which is not what we're after, so we keep them nice and parallel. At this point, what I always like to get people to do, squeeze inner thighs in towards each other. So if you imagine trying to pull the heels in slightly, but again, the feet will not move. They'll engage the inner thighs, the adductors, and also we can get a little bit of a squeeze through the glutes as well. From there, I want you to lift the kneecap. So you're going to engage the front of the thighs. This is your vastus medialis, this teardrop muscle here. The kneecaps will lift slightly. Again, so we have all this tension in the legs. We then got to lift the pelvic floor again from the front. The navel will come in and up. So all this tension. Hands, hips from there, lengthen through the top of the head more. Keep the legs engaged now as you start to fold. If you hitch back here, what happens is it takes a lot of the tension out of the pose. We tend to get a little bit lazy. So make sure you keep your weight far enough forwards. You start to fold forwards. Now at this point, normally peace fingers behind the big toes. People lengthen and they kind of draw themselves in. They use quite a lot through the arms. I see a lot in class. And again, you can see here my legs are relaxed. So what I'm going to do instead, we're going to have the hands away from the floor. We're going to get that engagement back through the legs. Don't be in the heels, shift it forwards. Use the hip flexors and the abdominals to pull the torso closer along the thighs, trying to lengthen through the body. At that point, that takes you deeper. So again, if I'm very relaxed, my forward fold will look something like this. If I'm engaged, I'm lengthened, and I pull myself in, again, not using my arms. At that point, then the peace fingers can come around the big toes. You can let the head go down. Again, you can just continue to work through here. Okay? So that's what it looks like with me. Let's bring in Matt, a little bit stiffer than me again, as I always say, but he gives it a good go, so let's get him in.
Oh, cheers, Tom.
Come forward a little bit, so you're in the frame. Right, so I'm going to talk you through feet hip distance for me. Nice. Again, make sure when you do it, your toes are in line. Normally I say it's the second toe, the foot that points forwards, and that tends to give you back the right rotation of the leg. Good. From here, I'm gonna get you to lift your kneecaps first, I think. So really squeeze the front of the thighs. Again, if you can poke it, it's gonna be pretty straightforward. It's quite a nice way to test. So if there's like a squidgy bit here that's not fat, it's just a muscle, and it's relaxed, you need to engage it, okay? So you got that nice lift. Squeeze the heels in towards each other, engage the inner thighs, and squeeze the butt. Okay? Yeah. Still got your kneecaps lifted?
Yeah.
Good. From there, lift the pelvic floor as well. Yeah. Always a good one. Navel in and up. Long. Good. From here, hands to the hips. Lift the chest a little bit more, lengthen through the top of the head, and then start to draw yourself into this fold now. So start to take it forwards. Try not to let the weight go into the heels. Yes, release the hands down. Good. As you breathe in, first of all. Again, as always, we should be using Ujjayi breath here. That's outside today's video, but there will be one at some point. Again, here I like to have space in the back of the neck. Again, we don't want to have the head completely relaxed. Good. Matt, I'm going to get you to lean your weight just a little bit forward in your feet again. I know we're on a slight slope, but I think we'll manage it. If anything, that should actually help you to stay balanced. Nice. Now really use the abdominals and the hip flexors to pull in. So imagine you're trying to take your belly button as close to the thighs as possible. Yeah? And again, you'll feel how you have to actively work to do that. So now here, if Matt wanted to take his peace fingers around his big toes, we can see he doesn't quite have the range to do this with straight legs. I'm perfectly okay with him to bend the legs here. So just allow him to bend the knees, and then to take that strong bind. So again, the peace finger goes all the way around, and then the thumb wraps over the top. Good. From there, you can use that as a little bit of leverage to again create length through the body. So lifting the chest and lengthening, and then exhale to again start to draw himself deeper, using the abdominals, but then he can use the arms as well, just gently, to give him a little bit of extra help if he needs to here. At this point, again, I'll check in with Matt. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
You sure?
Yep.
Good stuff. Okay. So then, to make him not so good, or just to make him work a little bit longer. From here, we've let him bend his legs, but what I'm going to encourage him to do now is we take the tip of the tailbone, and he's going to try and imagine there's like a hook there, and he's going to try and tip it up towards the ceiling, so that's going to lengthen up high. It's going to lengthen the tailbone, and you can visualize how that is going to lengthen through the back of the leg, and that'll increase the stretch of the hamstring, which I think, by just the sound effect, is what Matt felt, yes?
Yeah.
Good stuff. And so that's just a really nice way to do that. Again, at this point, I'll make sure he's still pulling from one side, and he's trying to lengthen on the other. And he breathes. Good. Normally with the breath, it's on the inhale where you're trying to lengthen. It is the exhale where hamstrings, lower back will release a little bit. That's normally what people find. Good, Matt, if you want to release it, you can gently bring yourself up.
I do.
Yes, you do. Great. How was it for you?
Yeah, it was good.
Big stretch?
Yeah, nice big stretch.
Whereabouts?
So it was all the way here.
All the way through the calves as well?
Yeah.
Nice. Hamstrings?
Yeah, and hamstrings as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Lower back?
Yeah, a bit lower back.
Bit of everything?
Yeah, a bit of everything, yeah.
That's great.
One.
Just what we're after.
Yeah.
Great, thank you very much, Matt.
Cool.
Again, that's your standing forward fold. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, have a great day.